What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a good weekend. We're going to get back to the markets on Monday. Hey, if the markets want to pump, let's throw out some tickers to the possible upside again. It's been a week or two. I just wasn't real hip on what the markets were doing, but like I said, if they want to pump, let's find some things that could possibly run with them. As always, this is not financial advice. They're just plays. Do not think they're gold. If you make money and you're content with it, take it, protect yourself to the downside because they're not guarantees. And nothing's a guarantee in the market. Just protect yourself. Don't full port into anything. You can play them if you like the setup. I'll show you why I like the setup and we'll go from there. This one got you, GOTU. I'm looking at this one really for a gap fill. It's been making a very nice push back up. It is touching into the gap right now. The 1618 at $7.18 would make sense as to where it's potentially heading. So sitting at $5.16 right now in the close of Friday. So I think we got a couple of bucks left on it if it wants to get back to this 1618. And also I do think that it might just want to complete the gap fill, which could take it around $9.50. If it wants to continue to keep going from there, be watching for $11.21. To the downside, I would keep an immediate watch at $4.68. How does it hold, within a few cents? And if we're not getting any strength there, might be a time to just step back and keep an eye on it. Put it on the watch list, see if it wants to go back for another run. But, all in all, I do like what this one's doing. I think it kind of looks like it's going for the gap fill / the 1618 tap. So I think we have that going for us. Amy, AMY. This one, again, I kind of like what's going on here. Possible double bottom that came in. Nice rip. And now kind of just trying to decide what it wants to do from here. Sitting at 55 cents. I don't know if you can trade this one on Webull or not. I think this is Canadian. So you may or may not be able to trade this one. So it might be a waste of time for you to watch this ticker. But I would be watching if you are trading it. Sitting at 55. My first area would be probably up here around the point of control around 79 cents, but if we can break through that, then be watching 88 cents up to $1.26, $1.57, $1.87. Those would be my targets to the upside. It could, look for a little handle and see if it pushes. If it doesn't push, we're going to flag out here for just a little bit while longer. So keep an eye on that one as well. This one, not new to the channel. We talked about it back around 50 cents. It had its period where it cooled down, and I think it could be doing something here in the near future. Again, as we saw, it came back down, tapped the 236 trend line, and made a very nice strong bounce. We know that there are potentially still shorts that are in this company that will be wanting to get out. Rejected perfect at the 50. So what am I watching? I'm watching for a little bit of a bull flag to form back down either to right about where it is, $3.63, or even come down and touch about $3.34, the 0.382. So be watching for this fib line and how it responds. If we can get some strength up there, right? If we can break this $4.31, 428 on the fib, 431 on the volume, I think we get a pretty nice quick clean push back up to around $4.90, which would take us into our 618 fib being in that golden pocket right at $5.21. So keep an eye on what GNS wants to do. Like I said, I would be watching it for more of just a little cool off breather at the moment. If it doesn't bounce right here, watch it back down to about $3.34. Again, do not be afraid to cut it if it does not respond the way that you want. Another one that we've talked about in the past is AI. AI, I think, has it showed up yesterday or Friday, in the markets. It made its push. We got that breakout of 26.95, which we were watching for. So look for a retest of that $26.95. If that can hold, I think we are pushing into $32.07 from there. If it wants to continue in bullish fashion, then we're looking okay. But like I said, be watching for that retest. I think the retest would make the most sense as of right now, just because it's coming off the breakout and it's going to make sure that this is in fact what it wants to do. From that 32.07, I would be watching your next stop at the 618 line, $37.19. It's making a very nice recovery. This was almost kind of a cup with a handle, and I think the handle is pushing. So I'm going to be watching upside targets on this one. Has the possibility to make some pretty nice returns. I mean, I could see this one in triple digits if everything goes as planned, as the way it looks, and if the hype stays on AI, and if some of the shorts are in here, but the RSIs have been warming up very nice. They've been pushing pretty well, and I want to continue to see if that push continues to stay in there. Be mindful right now, $28.48 in the aftermarket. So like I said, your target to the downside, $26.95, would test the waters. Don't stay in it any longer than you're comfortable. Next target down to the downside would be somewhere around $22.69 and then $20.61. So I mean that's a pretty hefty hit if you got in now and you're holding $6, $8 down. You don't necessarily want to be doing that. You want to watch for the strength when it comes back in. So that's what I'm saying. See if it wants to continue this breakout up to 32.07, how it moves from there through 37.19, or if it gets that rejection and wants to work its way back down to the 26.95 range and just retest and figure out what it wants to do from there. So those are my 4 tickers that I'm going to be having on the watch list or playing or whatever the situation arises. The SPY was absolutely doing some things, man. And I mean, I guess a little bit of good news if some of the Fed's thinking, hey, we might not have to do a full, or if they're on board for a 25 basis point hike. I could see some of that, wanting to settle it back in somewhere around the 400, 405 range. So I guess that is where we sit right now. Still kind of watching a bigger rising wedge. So, I mean, there is plenty of room to the upside if this thing wants to continue to go to the upside. Anything's possible, right? We don't have to try to make sense of the market. We just have to catch the direction, play it the way it's going. I have some shorter term fibs that I've been watching. They've been playing out pretty well. If you follow me on Twitter, I try to post one every morning just so that you have my levels that I'm going to be watching for the day. Doesn't necessarily mean anything other than these are areas that you're probably going to find your supports, your resistance, your hiccups, your hang-ups. So, if you're playing options and you're running in a direction or two, then they're pretty profitable as long as you're okay with saying, okay, I played it the wrong direction, flip it if it's playing in the channel to the opposite direction than what you were thinking. But I mean, it's been going okay on our bands here. We are pretty high, so possible rejection back down to about 402.17 come Monday. Could be, I don't know, it's hard to predict, but that would be my first area that I'd be watching for support. If it wants to get a little bit of rejection, could come down quite a bit more than that, or it can defy all odds and just run back towards this trend line that we have up here, which would be making some significantly higher highs than we've seen for some time. I still think the money's coming out of the system, and I think we are going to in-game work our way lower, but in the meantime, big money's got to get their money out of the system. So how do they do that? They allow it to run, sell it off, run, sell it off, sell it off. It's a process. So we just got to be on guard with the process that they are taking, no matter how we feel about where the numbers should be. We're just playing the game along with them. So if we want to continue to see some run back into the upper trend line here on SPY, then that gives me some hope that maybe some of the other tickers will get a little bit of power move to the upside, along with the generous numbers that we're seeing in the overall markets. So keep that in mind. If we see weakness in the overall markets, then just put those tickers that we talked about on the watch list and watch them closely, because when the markets are running, a lot of things are able to run just a little bit more freely. If the markets are getting hammered, then we know a lot of things get hammered right along with it. So, good market. If everything's going okay as far as Monday goes in the overall market, you're seeing green across the boards, then I think we have a chance with some of these other tickers. But I will catch you in the next one. Thank you guys for coming back. As always, stay golden, people, and may your accounts stay green.